Hola, we once again welcome you to SOLSOFT.inc channel. My name is Sol. A very good morning to you once again. We are still continuing with my Illustrator episodes, and this is episode 4. We are covering the gradient tool. In the previous tutorials, for those who follow SOLSOFT channel, we've managed to cover the pen tool, the quick selection tool, and the shape builder tool. And in this episodes, we are covering Adobe Illustrator, and we are continuing with the version CC 2020. Those who follow SOLSOFT.inc channel, in the previous video sessions, you managed to see that we covered the gradient tool, a video coverage of more than 1 hour, and we explained the gradient as a tool used in the graphics designing and different artworks. We are managing to bringing you this video so that we can be able to cover up more. It's the video we're going to use. It is elaborative and it is a very good video. We are intending to use it quite more in this session. In this setting, it's more of elaborative and it has good stuff. It will help us learn more, and it is indeed a very good video. So this is the video we're going to use, and in this session, for this episode, I wish a very good learning, and I wish you all the very best. This time we're going to talk about Adobe Illustrator CC. In the previous versions, in the previous versions of the tutorials, we looked at how to remove a background from an image, and this time we are mainly focusing on some of the tools, yes, that are provided by Adobe. Yes, we're focusing on Illustrator, and we want to remove to use the gradient tool. We want to remove to show designs, and mainly focusing on colors. With Adobe Illustrator, we tend to focus mainly on designing, but it also has that art and the magic of color. It's what we want to experiment this time. So we're going to open up a new document. We shall call it Project Gradient. We shall leave everything the way it is. We shall use pixels, but still the same. We shall use landscape for the orientation. All right, so we shall also create. Let's begin. All right. In the previous versions, as we've been saying, we talked about the Verso tool. We talked about coloring. This time we want to majorly emphasize the issue of how to use the gradient tool. Of course, we are using Adobe Illustrator, and we used the shape builder tool. Also, the tutorial was released. We are tending to release more and more of these videos. Do not forget to drop in your subscription, and also put in your comments in the commentary box. We welcome all of the comments, and we look forward to giving you the best. Now, the gradient tool works with the gradient panel. The panel is where the gradient type and the colors are specified. Now when talking about the tool, we say that it's used to add just the appearance of the gradient. Yes, above the gradient round is the midpoint marker, which allows you to adjust the physical point within the within the object. So here, if I may bring in rectangle here, as you see, let's give it a color. Let's give it something like which color should we use? Pink. Let's use red. Right. How are we? How can it be possible? How can we use these tools? How can we use a gradient tool? Now this shape, so let's try to create a shape here, and this is the shape. Now if you see the shape has a uniform color, we talk about color red. It's painted red, and the gradient, remember we say that we use the tools to adjust the appearance of the gradient, and that is the gradient tool. But there's also what we call the gradient ramp. Yes, the ramp is also used to emphasize the midpoint marker. So if I may need to adjust and put in some of trying to engrave this shape with more than one color, I'm going to be using, of course, the gradient tool. Now try to select the gradient. You're going to go into the swatches palette onto the right hand side, as I'm trying to hover around where okay, the colors you choose are truly explained, and so you're going to hover and drop, just pick one of the colors, drop it onto the color, it's called the gradient palette, the slider. Drop it. When you drop it, we're going to drop it to the left, extreme left of the slider. As you see, it has effectively affected our color that has been originally on the shape. So initially we had red, totally red. Now you can see I just pulled one of the colors and dropped it onto the slider, and now I'm having something like three colors. Because we have black at the extreme right corner of the right hand side corner of the shape, and now you can see in the middle here we have something like three colors. Yes, we have that is trying to extrapolate from trying to extend, make an extension of red. We have an also at the extreme left hand corner of the shape, left hand side, we have white. As you can see, it is fading, trying to fade from black. Then at the amidst the shape we have something like orange. Here we have something like orange. Then at the extreme end we have white, and then here we have a faded orange. Yes, but amidst the point we have trying something like a separator. We have black, but a faded black, but at the extreme corner, right? Then we see the total black, it's colored black. But if you take a look at the slider, yes, you're going to see that we have black at the extreme end. Trying to move it closer, I'm now trying to emphasize. So we're going to select it, and then so that it can affect our selections. Trying to move the slider to the right, as you can see, I'm increasing the opacity to 100% from the extreme corner. Then even I'm affecting the center point, where you say that we have now something is turning into red at the center, but again you're going to see something like orange, a faded orange, but at the end then you're going to see that black, a fainted black, is trying to separate the two. We can even have a line amidst. Now I'm going to get another color. Let's try to move this a bit back, end. Let's try to choose a color. These swatches help us to pick the colors. If they try to be specific, they give a specific color that one can choose immediately and then drop it onto the slider. But now we want other we need to emphasize other related colors. Prior to that, we have in selection. I mean, if we have red, a concentrated red, then we need to get a fainted red, but we are not going to be so exact. Then what we do, then we have to switch to the swatch guide. The swatch guide has the colors relevant to the color in selection. Remember, we selected red. Even at the slider, you can see we have black, then we have a fainted black as it goes on fainting. Yes, at the center here we have red. But now as you select these colors, it's going to show you that the slider you're going to see that at the swatch guide we have colors as they try to protrude to the extreme end of the color, trying to fade from the concentrated one to a faded. Trying now. Let's try to choose another color. If you choose, then we're going to try now. If I choose another, it's from red, as you can see. It's from red. You choose, try to drop it onto the slider. You're going to see we have a red here. You can move it at any point onto the slider. Then you're going to see that we have something like this. We can as well. Now we may be in need of something like someone may say, I want to switch from as you see, we can as we see, we may try to choose. Someone can say that I want to choose two colors, let's say from red to orange and then to white. Now if I may move this white, you can delete it. You can click on it and then press the bin. Then there you can delete that color, or you can get it, just double click on it, then select the bin, then you have to drop it in there. If we to choose, we can first of all again remove this black because it's not a need for now. We have we want to remain with only two colors, two selections in the points at the end. We can choose, someone says that we need to use orange and then we need to use also white. Okay, let's use green. No, let's use what color can we have in choice? Let's say something like select this. As you can see, I've selected a green color. It's not that green, it has something like orange, then red, because now you see it has made a fully rightful transition. We can now tell that we have more than one color on this in this shape. We have a red at the rear end, the left hand side. Then as we're going to getting closer toward the middle, the center of the object of the shape, we have something like orange, a faded orange. Then when we continue to the right, we're going to see that at the extreme end we have a very light green. Now taking a look at if I press the swatches, these are the specific colors I had to mention. And then now if you also consider the other swatch color guide that I said, we have a transition. As you can see, we're transitioning from we have other colors that are in relation to the ones we have in selection. Remember, we selected something like kind of green. Now it is showing other colors that are related to green, fainted ones. Now if I may need something like this, I'm going to slide this slider, sorry, I had to make a selection, slider a bit closer like that. Now I'm going to need a faded color. right? Another way of creating a double, a copy of that color. And so as we've transitioned these colors, trying to show that there can be a transition from one color to another, that you can transition, you can change colors, you can do something related to that, you can change. If we can use let's try to use a blue. Here you select a color, a point on a slider. That point, then you select a color on the colors guide. That is a swatch. If you're not specific, you can use an eyedropper. You choose a color you want, then that color will bring protrusions of other colors in relation to the one in selection. And that color will be relative to them. So onto the swatches, onto the colors guide. But if you select onto the swatches, that will be specific. But again, how specific are you? But again, we can double tap onto the swatch on the swatch panel, swatch palette. Then we're going to get a swatch panel, a floating window, a drop down window. This window, you can then be specific on the CMYK color mode that you've selected, right? Then you can use preview. Then if you use preview, it shows you the colors you have in selection. You can then now try to adjust the sliders to be specific on what kind of color that you're interested in. You may need a dark red, which you may not be able to select onto the colors palette, but in the floating window, after double click on the swatches, you can get a drop down panel that can help you be specific and precise onto a kind of color that you have an interest in. So my point here is that yes, as you see, I'm trying now getting closer to the left hand side of the C, that is cyan. We're going to be having something like that, but you choose global. Yes, now you have you're going to see that it's becoming a bit lighter, right? A bit lighter. Again, now trying to get closer to the left gives us something like that. Also trying to move at the magenta side. We're going to bring now the more I move to the left hand side is the more I change from green, was it green? Yeah, from red, that it has been a pale red, nearly coming to orange. Moving the slider to the magenta side, we're going to see that we're turning to yellow. And moving the slider to the extreme end, you see that we've turned to a complete yellow. So the slider, the swatch option, after a double click, gives you more options on how to select more than 1 to 2, 3 colors. If you also want to be specific and precise, you can also choose one of these colors. We're going to choose okay, this one we can say cancel and get back to the original color. Now let's try to choose let's try to use green. We're going to mix these colors. Let's try to choose purple. Purple is we can have a blue, but again the swatch palette is here. We can also be specific and precise. There are 2 options to access it. You can have it at the colors guide, or you can also click on the color that you want and double click to bring a drop down window, a floating window that shows you some of the CMYK colors, but they be specific. That I'm choosing blue color, you see that I'm choosing CMYK blue. Then you choose another color, then it will show you CMYK red and other colors. This now we can transition from blue, as you see. Let's preview. We chose it was blue, but now if you try to move the slider to the extreme end, we're transitioning it from blue, now we have something like this, a purple color, and we have also a lighter purple at the extreme end, nearly transitioning, turning from purple to pink. This is what we call gradient. We're trying to access and make choices between two or among some of more than 1 to 2, 3 more 2, 3 colors. This gives us more than that option to make choices and give stunning effects, mostly in the designs that we make graphically. Here we're going to cancel. We can also choose the ready-made gradients, like this. It's already made. We have to see that we have a transition. It is already made gradient. Sorry, it shows you orange and yellow. We also can adjust these sliders to have an effect onto the selection. We can also show that I can even click onto the extreme end of the point onto a slider, then I can choose the color I want. Let's say blue, as you can see. Sorry, I choose the color, I get blue, I pull it, I drop it onto that point, into a slider. As you see now, I'm affecting that color. I get this orange, I delete it. You see that I'm now having a transition, something like this, blue to orange in the middle, then to a fainted orange. Then at the extreme end, I can have something like this, red. If I may also choose a concentrated red color, I may have to click onto the red, then come here, choose that red. Sorry, come and choose that red, pull it down and press it onto a slider. Then at the extreme end, I can have something like black or a fainted black. Yes, like this. You can see that we are now effecting something. The shape is comprised of more than 1 to 2, 3 colors. Yes, now let's try to see how can we build some of the shapes. How can we build some of the shapes that we can have? If you check in the previous tutorials, we try to create to design some of the common logo designs that are on market, like Opera Mini. If you check in our previous tutorials, it is fully described. Yes, we are going to try to show how can we access more than these colors. How are they used in designing in day-to-day life, in the designs and logos? Okay, we can choose one of the shapes. Let's use rectangle. Yes, try to choose this. I'm going to select one color. Yes, give it one color. Yes, something I had not talked about is that if you select the shape like the previous one, it shows you these sliders, the color options onto the slider, but then you can decide to change the angle. Let's try to zoom it out and see. You can try to check some of these angles. Now try there's a reverse gradient. If I may need to choose, let's be specific. Let me use this one, the upper color, the upper shape, so that I try to explain very well what I want to emphasize. So that if we need this, it already has one color. Try to choose a gradient here. We're going to delete all these colors from the selection. We have one color. We can choose and say that I want to paint this orange, dark orange with a blue. I pull it after making sure that I've selected this orange color. You can see how blue transitioning from blue to a blue, again to a blue at the end. Yes, but this blue in selection is not that thick. It's a bit light. Let's try to yes, something like that. Okay. Yes, now when you select it, you said that we can reverse it. We can reverse the colors. Let's try to remain with one color only. This one will remain. Let me remove this blue. Okay, so that we emphasize what I want to talk about. Try to move the slider again to the extreme center at the center, so that you have a crossfade at the center. Yes, now you see we have two colors. At the extreme end we have orange to the right, and then extreme end to the left we have blue. Concentrated colors. If I want to switch between the two colors, then I'm going to press the reverse gradient. I press it, then I have the opposite. As you see, I've changed from blue to the right now, and to the left I'm having orange. You can play around with this button. You can switch between these colors like this. It gives you this transition, as you say. That's what I had not talked about. Also, there's what we call angle. You can choose and say that I want to change blue to a given angle location. See, you can also change its opacity. Say that it's blue, this blue is too thick, let me change it. You can certainly reduce the opacity, the color, thickness and transparency. You see, I'm now transitioning to a totally zero color. As you can see, I've faded totally from blue to a transparent background color, nearly white, nearly transparent white. So opacity, that is also another factor that we have to put in consideration. You see that we are now increasing the opacity, the transparency. We are giving it transparency now. Let's put it at 50%. You can see it is something like faded. It is faded from, it fades from left. We're talking about the left hand side, then to the right. We see that there's a faded color because we have tampered with the transparency. Then also we can affect the angle, the angular side. You can choose the angle that you want to rotate that color. If I choose 30%, you can see that there has been a change in the color to 30% degree. If I may try to change, you can type. Let's try to say okay, 90%. If you press 90, you can see that we've changed the color upside down, the one that has been to the arranged vertically, now having a vertical crossfade at the center. Now we have a horizontal crossfade at the nearly third of the shape, at a third point of the shape. We have something like that. You can now see that we have transitioned because we've changed the arrangement, that is the angle of the colors. Mid-stem we have a change that has been 90, but if I can type something like 180, you can see, sorry, let me have a selection of this shape, then I type something like 180, then 180, then press enter. You can see I've gone back to the original because there has been a rotation, but again it didn't affect the arrangement. It affected the arrangement, but prior to the first sight, we saw that we had vertical arrangement. A crossfade amid the two colors has been vertical in the previous, but now we have it again rearranged to the original positions. If you put 360, it is to give the one, we can only have a shape transition of 180 degrees rotation. This has been the best we can give. Also, there's what we call the gradient type. You can press and choose. We have white and black, we have super, soft, black, and so on. So for these are also some of the shape the types of the gradient. We can if I can choose this, I'm going to give it we have a linear gradient, then we have a radial that has been ready. You can see that cannot be changed. It has a focus at the center with a blue color focused. As you can see, we can now change. If I change this color to something like yellow, let's try to say yellow, I try to put it in the place of blue, you can still have something like that. It shows that we have already a concentrated color at the center with a faded boundary. but having concentrated colors at the extreme end, making it orange. This is what we call gradient. Also, if I can also affect the slider, you can see I try to reduce this the concentration and the centerness of the shape color. If you see that the radial, the size of the width is now changing because we're trying to concentrate it to the center, but now we're having something like a faded background, so a faded circular color amidst the shape. Then at the extreme end, it goes on protruding some of the extensions of the colors, yellowing to the center, making it orange. If I may change and try to choose another color, let me choose a color that's not so tedious. Let me choose something like green. This green color, trying to put it at the center, it does not really affect the change, but again you can see that at the center we have a concentrated color that is green. But if I try to move the slider toward if I try to move the slider toward this the orange color, you can see that I'm trying to eliminate them, trying to make a focused color at the center, that's green. Let me try to pull the green, the concentrated real green. You see now we have two colors, one that is a bit giving us a shape outline, making it difficult to have these colors combined. So this is what we call a radial gradient. We talked about a linear. If I may choose to select a linear, then we select linear. You can see this linear tries to show that we're trying to focus on two colors at the extreme end. There's also another color, gradient type format. It's called the freeform gradient. This one is a bit similar to the linear, because it has a focused color where we move the point of concentration. If we may choose a color, let's try to say point. Let's try to choose lines. Now choosing line shows something like this. We are trying again to focus, right? You're focusing on a color, but basically trying to reduce and increase the width, the length of this slider. Now if I may choose a color here, let me say I choose green. I choose OK. Yes, you're going to see that the more I move this slider to the color, to the extreme end of the color, you're going to see that I'm having something like this. So a free form, we're giving it a color, but depending on the type of the nature of the shape, we want that color to flow onto the object. So we have a free form, we have a radial, and we also have a linear gradient type. Yes, we're going to create something like this. Let me try to get this off the screen. Off the page. Let's try to get something like this. Is what I wanted to say in the fact. Let's try to draw the shapes. If I may draw this shape, I choose one color that I fill it with. I'm going to use green, okay, for the start, but we shall have a combination of more than one colors. I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to duplicate this shape and draw more colors. Then, because we remember we talked of the color guide, this color guide tries to show us more than one color that is related to green, as we have in selection. I'll choose a bit lighter color, trying to separate the two. As you can see, I'm trying to move from the color from the concentrated green to a bit faded green like that. Then I'm going to make a duplicate of this shape. Then I'm going to go onto the swatch guide, color guide, then try to choose something like that. This is a bit more light, something like that. We're trying to show that we transition it, trying to show a transition, something like this. Alright. refusing to do what I want. Something like this. This guy is refusing what I want him to do. We get something like this. I'm going to get a rectangle. I align it to center like that. I try to fix it to this level like this. Get this, also try to extrapolate it up to there, like that. Okay. Yeah, get this, select, I try to curve it. I curve it like that. Then I also get another shape. I do this. Then I group the two to bring about this. I group this with this. Then I group this out. Then I reduce the size, something like that. Then I also get another shape like that. This shape, I give it a color. I give it a color. This or this. And this one, I give this a color. I give it a color red, just like that. No, a faint red, like that. Yes. Something like that. All right. This one, now I can group this. I can group them. Now this one I can try to reduce the size. I hope guys have guessed what we're trying to design. Okay, I'm going to get a shape. I'm going to take a star, we draw it, then we double click, use this pass to 3. We're trying to develop to draw a rectangle. Right after there, get this, delete, we remain with only one. We rotate it like this. Yes. After then, try to get it closer to the shape. Also shape it like that to the extreme end of the point. Like that, we're trying to get it a bit slower, like that. Yes. Now we're going to get this shape. We select a color. This color, we shall select this color a bit like that. Yes. Now we're going to get a shape. I'm going to get a shape here. This we draw something like that. Okay, yes, we group these two. Sorry, we group this two. After grouping the two, we then get something like this. Bring a shape builder tool, we get this off. We also get this off. We remain with something like that. After remaining with something like that, we're going to come again, we draw this star. But before I do this, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get this shape. I make a copy of it. Then after I get a shape here, I draw a shape here like that. Then after I select the tool, I bring the shape builder tool, I eliminate this and this one, I remain with that. Then after I bring this closer, yes, to the individual, then I'm going to sorry, let's do this for the best. We're going to get this, align it in the same line, align it like that, get this shape, make a duplicate, put it closer like that. Then after, we're going to get these two, we bring in a shape builder tool, then we get this, we eliminate this and this. Here we do the opposite. After that, we're going to group these also. We're going to bring in a shape builder. Now here we are moving only one, this one. But we're going to take this out, right? And we also take this out. So we are remaining with these two shapes. Bring this closer here. I try to align them in the center like that. Then I get this one, I select it. I select these two like that. I align them like that. A bit not aligned like that. Yes. Then after I get this shape, I select a color black. The pen has pencil has to be a bit has to be something like that. Then I'm going to get this. I select them, I then right click and group. Yes, and after grouping, we've managed to make a pencil. Folks, we've constructed a pencil. But the essence of this is I wanted to show you the power of the gradient tool. As you can see, the gradient trying to fade this and we're getting something like this. It is something very easy. Yes, as you've seen, it's nothing to say that it's hard. Issues with the gradient, we can be able to handle these shapes at all layers, at all levels. We can even manage to construct some more complex components. Yes, it is something easy if we try to concentrate and build the best out of it. We can do this. And so shape builder tool is good, but again our emphasis today has been on something we wanted to focus on, and that is the shape builder, sorry, that is the gradient tool. Trying to this one, we shall fill it, we shall fill this one. We shall get something like this. Yes, like that. So we select these shapes. I'm going to get this shape, I give it a shape, a color fill, I fill it, and after filling it I'm going to select these two, I group them, I press Shift M to bring the shape builder tool. I now eliminate them. I eliminate this with this and this. Sorry. We're going to say to click. We say path, outline, stroke. Right. After outlining stroke, this one also, we're going to do the same, right? We select it, we go to object, path, outline path, outline stroke. Now we can select both of them, Shift M. We can now eliminate them because now these are what? These are now shapes that the objects are not. They are no longer shapes. We press Alt, we eliminate them like that. We eliminate all of them. We can eliminate them like that. Like that. Right. So we wanted to create a button like that. But there's some of the shapes that didn't come out very well. We can again remove these shapes. Let's try to zoom out a bit so that we can see well what we are doing. Then we can bring in the outline mode format. We get we were doing the shape builder. We're trying to eliminate these shapes. Of course, they were like that. We can okay, I can bring in this something like this. I draw this shape, then I select the two, and after selecting the two, I press Shift Aim. I group this layer, all of this, and after selecting it, I press Alt, I eliminate that. I repeat the same with this shape. I draw a shape here like that, then I join the two endpoints. I select this, all of it, I group, I press Shift Aim to bring in the shape builder. I select this group, I eliminate this. So in return, I'm getting something like that. Then getting into the normal view, I'm getting a button like that. So now that button, I need to draw another shape. For now, I'm going to draw a line, specifically line to a line. Yes, that crosses the midst, something like that. I get the line, I give it color white like that. I give it a stroke of about 3. Yes, like that. I reduce its height to something like that. I center the shape in the center. I select all of them. I press Shift Alt. I regroup them and I try to reduce their size a bit smaller like that, so that they fit in the center. We can press Ctrl 0. We're trying to build a button like that. Very beautiful. So this is what we're talking about, issues with gradient. It's something easy, we can deal with it. We showed how we could bring in something like that. We can now group this. We talked of how we can do something like this. Yes, we can as well select it, select all of it. We can select all of this. We can select all of it, and then at the end we group them. Select this, Shift, select this, group the shapes so that they move at once. Yeah, so the shape builder tools are a bit elaborated. We can find means of doing that very fast. We are tending to develop the concept of grouping and then using the shape builder tools. We also find means of eliminating the errors and the mistakes, but we are trying to, of course issues with gradient, we can go trying to advance a bit. There's also another shape I could think of, something like this. We're going to get an ellipse tool. We try to draw it like this. Press shift, we press, get something like that. We get it to a bit closer. We are getting this. Now select that. After selecting it, we remove the outline. Yes, we remove the outline. The shape fill, sorry, gave it an outline of let's give it what should we give it? Should we give it black? Okay, let's give it blue color. Yes, blue color. Then let's try to increase the path, the fill, to about 4, like that. For the best, okay, we can increase the fill outline up to something like 50. All right, they are at 50. Very good. We try to reduce Shift Alt. We reduce the shape size. Yeah, like that. We are trying to develop something here. I'm going to show you the concept. Then this shape, we select it. We go into Object, go into we go to Path. Then we say Outline Stroke. Outlining stroke means that you've created more than, instead of having a single line as we have now a shape. You turn it into a shape. Now if I try to, because now I'm having it as a shape, if I try now to change a color, I just have to drop anywhere with an eyedropper, then I try to get the different colors of that shape. Alright, so here we're going to focus on blue. If we may choose, okay, let's try to, okay, let's get that. For now, let's just consider that. Alright, select that. Now we're going to get a shape, another shape. Let's get a rectangle. We get it to the center here, something like here. We draw it closer to the center point. It shouldn't be that long. Yeah, a bit here, it's enough. All right, then we are going to focus on one point. Try to get the direct selection tool. Select a point, then use the arrow point. Sorry. Yeah, select a point, use the selection tool. It's called a direct selection tool. Get that one point. Get a point, select it, then move it closer like that. We are trying to cut it, try to be a bit precise. Yes, like that. Alright. Something like that. Very good. Okay. Yes, now this one we of course we are going to group these two, going to group them. This one I'm grouping it. I'm going to select all of this, right? I group them like that. Some having one shape. If I try to check their colors, you choose any colors, you try to see the progress. Change one, change all. Right, let's stick to purple. Let's try to choose purple color. Okay, something like that. Army green. Okay, as you wish. Okay, we're going to continue. We're going to again get a shape, rectangle shape. Draw another shape here, closer like that. It has let's make it a bit shorter, like that. Then get it, select it, go into it's a direct selection tool. Select one point, drag closer. Sorry, we're going to select this one. Okay, select this, drag it closer like that. Yes, so we are trying to develop something closer to that. Then after, we're going to select all. Again, we press right shift, right click, then press group. After grouping, now it has affected again the same color. As you see, we are getting such a color. When you try to choose and changing the colors, you can see we are moving at the same colors, something like that. Now this one's gradient, we're trying to effect it. Let's try to increase its size a bit, like that. Then now what we're going to do, we're going to select a color here. We can select a color. Of course we use gradient, but which gradient type? Of course we're using linear. Let's try to choose a color. At the extreme end, we're going to use orange. Try to pull the orange, put it at the extreme end. So we select, get the orange color like this, pull it to the extreme end like this. Yes, we are having, yes, something like that. We are selecting this. We are using black and white, which was switch on the top. No, oops. We're going to get this something like. Should we get spiral? No. Will spiral work? I doubt. No, it cannot work. What kind can we use? Should we use linear? Linear is proven fair. What can we use? Can we use soft light? Super soft? Will it work? Are we sure that it would work? It has refused there because these shapes are trying to show that. Okay. I'm trying to get it here because it tries to tell us that the shapes you're trying to build with me are not compatible. That's what it tries to show. That's what it tries to tell us. Okay, what we're going to do for the best results, we're going to click this, click until you get one shape, delete it. We're going to get another shape here. Also we also get this shape. We also delete it. We're going to go back, select this shape, select one color, just a purple. Alright, because we made an outline, that is okay. Yes, that is very okay. Oops, let's try to do this. I hope it will work. Yes, this one, I'm trying to get this shape. This shape has an outline, right? I'm going to get it with this. I shift select that with this. Try to okay, we are getting this too. Get this. Delete. Sorry. Get this. Delete. Get this. Delete. Okay, we're going to use the pen tool to draw these shapes. Let's try to be a bit faster. That is it to manipulate. Get it a thicker color, this guy. Get eyedropper, try to choose the color here. We're going to get a color that we choose from. We're going to color guide. Choose this color, this color, this color. Not really getting this color. we select it, we bring eyedropper, we try to select this color. We are getting this shape. Select its color, we try to use this yellow. Get the yellow, delete the yellow. And we get this one of red. Okay, try to balance with this one. Trying to balance with these two colors and see whether we can get something good that we want. Yes, try to rotate this to 90 degrees. Yes, then we bring in a slider, thicken the color down also, and up a bit more concentration, up. Something like that. We're trying, not yet gotten something blending here. I'm going to get this guy, we choose the color, this one is okay, this one is good. Like that. So yup, something like this, something, yes, something like that. We are getting something like that. It is not a very much of a blend, but something like that we can go with. It's something like that. We're trying to be a bit direct. Trying to be a bit more accurate. So we are getting something like that. Yeah. Okay, then we did. Yeah. So again, something like that. Thanks for watching. Hope you subscribe and comment. Leave a comment in the comments box. We intend to bring the best results from that. But don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification so that we'll be able to update you with the latest video release by SOLSOFT. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.